Hello everyone, let's open some packs. I got a brand new box of the new set of the My Hero card game League of Villains set 4. I also got just a single pack of the last set for no reason other than to have it here and open it. So let's get started on opening some packs and see what I can get out of this very pricey local box. Support your local scene where you can. That's always a good thing to do. Alright, on top we have got an XR of an uncommon foundation, polite and well spoken. Not what I want. I always want attacks, but that's okay. Let's see what else I can get out of this box. Maybe that's the only dud. Start with some quirk packs here. There's some neat quirk cards. Innsmouth, I don't know how to say this guy's name. Captain Fishface. He's a 600 with 29 health. He's got a response to discard one card. After you play a ranged or slam attack, it gets +3 damage. Add the top card of your rival's deck to their card pool. Great card pool stuff. And enhance once per turn, your turn. Discard one card from the rival's card pool. Commit one rival foundation. Target commit. So it's really a fun card to kind of control your space there. And then I got Kota, which is an asset in the quirk packs. He's a 3-diff asset, ally unique. While this card is in your stage, if you are dealt 6 or more, is it 6? 6 or more damage by an attack, destroy this card. So it's got some stipulations to keep it out. Response commit, after you completely block an attack, your rival's next check to play a card gets -2. Failing that check does not end the combat phase. So you can kind of make the next card really difficult to play after you block something. Fun little tech on water, which already wants to go for a lot of block. Enhance lose 1 health. Your low or water attack gets +1 speed. So that's a pretty neat little addition there. I like that. Man, my music just bumped up in volume. Sorry about that. Let's turn that down just a tad. Alright. Should I open the one first? Let's just see what's in my one single pack of Heroes Clash. This is the last set. I bought a ton of them and then just stopped opening them because I had so many. So I don't care about a lot of these cards. But my rare is Freezer Burn, which is a cool Todoroki card. It is a 4-diff, 3-check with a 2 low block. We're looking at charge and range for the keywords. Response, destroy 1 foundation after your rival plays a non-character ability during the attack, cancel it. That's a really cool, just like cancel ability. Shoto Todoroki 1 kind of has like this cancel and enhance on his face as well. So instead of doing that, you can blow up a foundation to do it, which is kind of cool. Enhance, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Your rival readies 1 foundation. Also really cool. You just get stuff readied. So I'm going to keep those kind of off to the side. Let's start delving into the actual villain pack. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to jump through most of the commons and uncommons so I can keep this short. I do want to talk about cremation though. This is an uncommon action. Good in a lot of characters, obviously better in Dobby when you can do it, but enhance lose 1 health. This tech gets +3 speed. If your character is Dobby, your rival loses 1 health. That's Dobby 1 or Dobby 2 now since he's in this set. That can use this. Response, lose 2 health after your rival plays their 3rd non-attack this combat phase. Add the top card of your deck to your momentum. Only 1 copy of this ability can be played per turn. So this is kind of the same premise of what is it, ready, set, go. Once they've played 3 or 4, you can build 2, but this is how you would get a momentum for free. Most people are probably going to use the lose 1 health, give it +3 speed though. And so my first rare is also a Dobby. This might be a Dobby box. We'll see. Reluctant Retreat. It is a 2 diff, 4 check, 2 mid block. Enhance, remove, discard 1 card. Your rival cannot play or block with action cards during this attack. Gross. Wow, you have to discard a card too, so it's got a lot of the cost to it. But this will negate things like people blocking with Erase and whatnot, and summon Dark Shadow, so it's a really good counterplay. Deadlock Enhance, remove your next check to play a card. Gets +3, playable while committed. Very good Deadlock Enhance. I like that one. That's going to keep people out of deadlock because you're just going to hit them really hard with an attack. 3rd or 4th down the chain with that. Nice little thing. Let's open, let's use the tabs. Jesco did add some nice pull tabs. They don't open all the way, so I usually either cut these or pull them open the old-fashioned way. But that one looked like it was shiny, but it's not. We got another rare Flashfire Fist, an Endeavor card. It is a 4 difficulty 2 check with a 2 high block. It is 4 high speed for 4 damage with the ranged keyword. Enhance, discard the top 4 cards of your deck. This attack gets +1 damage for each different block zone on the discarded card. Okay, so that's a max of 3. You're more likely to get 2, but that's kind of cool. I like that. Enhance, discard the top 2 cards of your deck. Flip 1 rival foundation with 1 or less printed difficulty. I mean, great enhances. I mean, they have to be good for a 2 check, but I mean, it's not good damage. It's got good mill, which is good for Endeavor, and possibly if you're playing Fire Todoroki, you could be running that card. The 2 check's daunting for a lot of people. I feel like I would want a little more out of it. I mean, +1 or 2 damage is not kind of worth a 2 check. Flipping a rival foundation is nice, but most of the time if it's a 1 or a 0 difficulty foundation, you're not getting much out of it anyway, out of flipping it. You want to go after those 2 or 3s most of the time. Okay. Rare. Blood Evaluation. We got a Toga card. It is a 3 difficulty 5 check. A lot of her good cards are 3 diff. 2 high block. Response. Once per turn, after this foundation is ready to drain, due to an effect, draw 1 card. So that's yours or the enemy's. That's neat. I like it. And enhance, discard 1 momentum, ready this card, or flip 1 rival momentum, playable while committed. Gross. So this is a discard a momentum, draw a card, which is really nice. If you probably weren't already running a bunch of our other 3 check, Excited for Blood, that's probably going to see a lot more use, but in specific decks, that's probably still going to see a lot of use. I like the just hold draw a card. That's really nice. People that want extra cards, like Innsmouth, since he's... Innsmouth. God, that's such a weird name to say. Since he's discarding cards, once you get a momentum, you can basically get a card back. So you end up net even. Also, if you're playing him on water, this is probably a good card to be put in there, maybe. Kind of mitigate his cost. Fancy Feast. Another rare here. We've got Dobby. This might be a Dobby deck, or a Dobby box, which, you know, I'm okay with. Dobby's a pretty cool guy. Twin Flame Shadow, even though my thing isn't focusing. There we go. This is a 4 difficulty 2 check again. Lots of low checks in this deck, which is cool, because usually they come with good power to scale with that. It's a 2 low block. It is a 3 low speed for 4 damage with charge, X2, and powerful 2. It has some floating text saying that if your character is Dobby, actions in your card pool do not count towards progressive difficulty to play this card. So, Where did I put that? Oh, it's over here. The cremation won't count towards progressive difficulty, so that's huge. This is still, you could play that after, like, you play this attack on a 4, you play a attack on a 4, you play the Dobby with the +3 speed, and then it doesn't count towards progressive. So this is still basically a 5 check card. Enhance, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, add one of them to your hand, and remove the other. Fun. He likes stuff getting removed anyway, and you get a free card out of it. Enhance, if you've played an action this enhance step, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. More momentum gains, and he has 2 different keywords on this that he can use momentum, so that's a great card to kind of, you're getting XOR powerful on it. I like it. 2 check though, man, those 2 checks are rough. There's I think a 1 check in this set that is really nice, and I like it quite a bit. Shigaraki. Let's talk about this character real quick. So Shigaraki is this is the 3rd Shigaraki in the My Hero series. He is a 7-hander with 19 health. He has an enhance that says your rival makes a check against a difficulty of 5. If they fail, you draw a card. So you just force them to flip the top card of their deck. If it's a 3, they have to commit 2, or let you draw a card. That's basically what's going for that. Response once per turn after the rival makes a check, it gets -1. Failing this check will not end the combat phase. So on top of forcing the 5, you're basically forcing the 6. So even if they check a 5, they're still going to commit 1 for that. And you can do this on their turn. So it's once per turn. You can choose when to do this, when to force the extra hard check. And then first form, once per game, remove 1 momentum. Okay, so you can only do this once. It can only be your first form, and you have to have a momentum to do this. Your rival checks get -1 until the start of your next turn. Wow, okay. So you want to play this on your turn? I would probably play this early in the game and just make it really hard for them to check, like their first build phase. Or second build phase, I guess, if you're going second. Just first form. You have to have the momentum, though. Yeah, that's rough, but the -1 is essentially making your enhance, you've got to check against a 7. If you've got your once per game, you've got that first form in play and you enhance. That's a fun little thing. He does have low health though, so if you've got the resources to pass those checks, he's going to be hurting after a little while. And then my rare is Winged Nomu. This is a 5 difficulty, 3 check, 2 high block, 3 speed high for 4 damage with ally and echo. Now echo is new to this set. It's not new to, well, it is new to the game too, because multiple is not echo, but echo is this new thing, and it's got the flavor text down here. It says discard 1 momentum after this attack resolves. You may play it as your next form this turn. If you do, flip it after it resolves. So basically you get 2 attacks. You get to play this attack on a 5 diff after it resolves, whether it's blocked, whatever. As long as it's not flipped, you can respond echo, discard 1 momentum, play it again, and then flip it. So you get basically 2 attacks that are 3 high for 4 for 1 momentum, and it only takes up the 1 spot on your card pool. So it's a really neat little added feature now. So the other things this has is enhance. Your rival cannot try to partially block this attack. That is interesting. That seems really strong. You're forcing a full block or a no block, and you can echo it, which means you can just, it's got the same enhances again. So you can do this twice. Are they going to full block it twice and just throw 2 high blocks out, and then you just leave them open for another high block, or you shoot low, whatever you want to do. Enhance, destroy 1 foundation. This attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage. Fun card. Trying to think. I know Death has some good destruction stuff, like once a card leaves your stage, or once it hits the discard pile, it gets +2 damage, stuff like that. So you can kind of pump it up a little bit with that second one too. Neat little card. Alright. My rare is Tormenting Glare, as it's glaring on my camera. This is a 5 diff, 3 check with a 2 low block. It is 3 mid speed for 6 damage with Fury and Taunt keywords. Which, I don't know if you played the other Shigarakis before, but he has a lot of Fury decks, not Taunt decks. So that's kind of unique for that. It makes sense. He does taunt his enemies. Enhance your rival's checks during this attack, get -1. Dang, some more negative checks. Can you imagine trying to pass an 8 check on block or something? It's nutty. Enhance, if your rival has 3 or more cards in their hand, your next check or your next attack gets -2 difficulty. So you just play this first. If they've got 3 cards in their hand, bam, your next attack is basically free. That is a nice card. That's a really good card, especially for Shigaraki, who usually is only throwing a couple of attacks out anyway. The 7-hander's probably throwing a lot. But his other 6 and I think his other one's a 7 as well. You know, usually you're probably not getting 3 or 4 attacks, but this is going to make sure you're getting 3 or 4 attacks in, because if they've still got a few cards. Or you just make sure that you got a lot of resources after the fact. Oop. I have 2 here, which means the one behind here is an XR. Ruthless Mockery is my rare. A great action card. It is a 1 difficulty 5 check with a 3 mid block with taunt keyword. Response: after you block with this card, your rival's attacks get -2 damage for the rest of the combat phase. Remove this card when it leaves your card pool. So you block kind of like a breaker block, but not. There's a Kirishima Foundation that if you block with it, their next attack gets -2 damage. This is all their attacks get -2 damage. So it's a nice little extra. But the real one here is the second enhance. So you play whatever enhance you want first, then as your second enhance, you have to play this one. Remove. This attack gets +2 damage. If it has taunt, draw 1 card, and it gains stun 1. Now, right now, this card is getting overlooked, but this is so strong, especially on the all and void symbols. You've got Midnight's 0 difficulty foundation that gives an attack +1 speed and taunt. So you get, you play a card, give it +1 speed and taunt, and then you play this on a 2, you give it +2 damage, draw a card, and give it stun 1. It's just a great card. Eye of the Tiger. This is a uncommon extra rare. It's got unique foiling on the back, which looks kind of cool. Trying to make out what it looks like. It's kind of like circle bricks. See if I can get a good angle on it. Probably not. But it is unique for the XR, which is nice. There we go. It's got kind of scattered like bricks. It just looks like a bunch of bricks. Yeah, it's cool. Anyways, Eye of the Tiger is a 2 diff, 5 check, 2 low block. If your character is Tiger, this card gets -1 difficulty and -1 to the block modifier. If you're playing Tiger, this has to be in your deck. It's a 1/5 with a 1 low block. Why not? Enhance, remove checks cannot be modified by non-character effects for the rest of the turn. So this card specifically is going to counter a lot of Shigaraki's shenanigans, not on his character, but his cards themselves. And anyone else that's going to change kind of the checks. You could be playing against Tokiyami, and you could remove this, and he doesn't get +3 to his next check with his Summon Dark Shadow. You could play it against anyone that's playing Release, and that card gets used a lot for +1 on the check. So just having this on your board kind of scares a lot of tactics. So it's a good card. I think not just in Tiger, it's just really good in Tiger. But in other characters that might be used quite a bit, or at least sideboarded. Let's have a look at Toga. So, Himiko Toga. She is a 6-hander with 28 health. My camera does not want to focus right now. There we go. Once per turn, your turn. First enhance. Sorry, this has to be the first thing you do. Look at your momentum and unflip one of them. That's really good. Especially on life, you've got a lot of neat stuff that works in your momentum, and you can unflip it and then use it again and then unflip it again. Enhance. If this is your first attack this turn, it gets +2 speed. Oh, okay. So you've got a mini Uraraka 2 kind of built into this. So one of my favorite characters is Uraraka 2. She gives +2 speed to basically everything, but you only get this once on your first attack. But +2 speed's pretty good. And then response twice per turn. After you flip one or more momentum, ready one foundation that has not been ready this combat phase. So she's got a lot of momentum stuff, a lot of stuff that goes to momentum face up. It's got like flips, it's got do this, do that. And when you do flip it over, you're going to ready a foundation so that you can pass more checks. So, fun card. I like it. I don't know what this is, so let's have a look. Pump Up. Muscular's one of the fan favorites, at least for sealed right now. It's a 3-diff 5 check with a 1 low block. Enhance flip 1 foundation. If this attack is blocked, seal 1 rival foundation. And then a muscular specific enhance is once per turn, your turn, add 1 muscular or 1 muscle counter to your character. So he uses muscle counters. So unfortunately you can't use this on Shoji, who is the only other character that has counters. I know there's one card, one of his attacks that adds a counter to your character, which you could use on that, or discard a counter. I can't remember what it is, but it's nice. And for my rare, I have Finger Guns twice, new to this set, and an awesome character. 2-diff 6 check. And if you notice now, if they have this like flame kind of design around the check down here, that usually means that it does something once it hits, once you check that card. So once you flip it over, it has something that can happen. It has a 2 high block with the unique keyword. It has a twice response after you check this card. There it is. After you check this card to play a non-attack card, add this card to your hand. And then response commit after you play an attack, add it to your hand. Okay, so once it's built, you can put an attack down and then pick it back up if it's not looking good, or they're putting too much like speed hate on it, or, well, no, you can't do it after. It's a response. That's a weird response. The first one makes sense. I'm not entirely sure where I'd use the second one. I'd have to look at Twice's attacks. I haven't delved too deep into a lot of the cards yet, so we'll have to take a look. He must be able to do something like once an attack is played, he does something, and then he can respond after and put it back in his hand and then do it again, kind of thing. So we'll see. There's another cremation. Let's look at this tech card. That's interesting. Expanding capacity. This is a 2 difficulty 5 check. Enhanced discard 2 momentum. Your attack gets +3 speed and +3 damage. Now this, I know the Order and Chaos is Denki. I don't know if Denki 2 had fire, but Denki 2 can get 2 momentum pretty easily. In fact, Denki 2 can get any amount of momentum pretty easily. So that's who this is probably made for. And that's nice. +3/+3 is huge. And it's not even a commit or anything. So you can do this on 2 different attacks. Just give them both +3/+3. I made a Denki 2 deck, and I was able to get 4 or 5 momentum by turn 2. And then this is just a really great way to unload it. Response commit after your rival gains health due to a non-character effect, they commit 1 foundation. That's good against a couple of cards. There's some starter cards in the first starter set that you could use that with. There's a Momo card, but the big one's probably Excited for Blood, that would be used against. And my rare, Warp Gate Portal. This is a 5 difficulty 1 check. That's right, we got 1 checks. It is a 0 mid block. It is a 5 mid speed for 5 damage with the ally keyword. Enhance for your next form this turn. Why is it flashing all weird? You may search your deck for an attack that is not named Warpgate Portal and play it. That is gross. Any attack. For your next form this turn, you may search your deck for an attack that is not named Warpgate Portal and play it. Wow, okay. You want Dropkick Slicer? You got it. Although you got another 1 check if you're doing that. But you want any sort of kill turn or draw or whatever you want on an attack. You got it if you've got this card. And even though mids are usually easier to block, 5 speed is kind of high, and you're going to pump a little more on that, I think. So that's an interesting, very interesting card. I like it a lot. It's got the 1 check that everyone's scared of, but I ain't scared of 1 checks. I actually like 1 checks. Alright, my first ultra rare of the whole thing so far is Really Big Sword. This is a, oh, why am I drawing a blank now? What is this guy's name? Gecko Man. Spinner. This is a 5 difficulty 2 check, more 2 checks, with a 1 mid block. I don't know why this is going crazy. Let's turn on some light. Maybe that's why. It has powerful. Here, let me just set this down for a sec. Powerful 2. Oh, sorry, it's a 2 speed high for 7 damage with powerful 2 and the weapon keyword. It has enhanced this attack, gets plus X to its powerful rating. X equals the number of cards you have built this turn. Now, Spinner builds a lot during his turn, so this is going to get a higher powerful rating. Powerful 2 is still okay, but this is probably going to have powerful 4, maybe powerful 5. You can build pretty fast with Spinner. Response. After this attack is completely blocked, add 1 weapon attack with a printed difficulty of 4 or less from your discard pile to your hand. Remove this attack after it resolves. Alright. What other Spinner attacks do I have in here? Well, that's a 5, so it has to be a 4 or less. I mean, he can run Void Shrapnel Tooth. He could run... Nope, he can't run that one. He can run Crawling Ice Geyser on order. He can run Jet Kickback on good. There's a lot of options just even in this set. Okay, that's neat. So if it's completely blocked, so you pump this up with powerful, let's just say powerful 4. You make it a 2 high for 11 damage. They either take 6 damage or they fully block it, and then you get to... remove this from your card pool and get a 4 diff attack and stuff their card pool, essentially. That's a good 2 check. I think that's a very interesting card. I like it. I hope to see it played a lot. Muscular. Let's talk about the muscle man himself. He is a 5-hander. I do love my 5-handers. 36 health. Big boy. Is that the most? I can't remember what Nomu is, but it's pretty high. He has floating text. After an attack deals damage, you may add 1 muscle counter to this character. An attack. That's on offense and defense. He gets this buff. Enhance your non-throw attack. Gets +1 damage for each muscle counter on your character. He has built-in damage buff on everything. That's That's pretty nutty. Response: after you take damage from an unblocked attack, build one card from your card pool face down. Okay, so your game plan is block the first, and then probably just face take the second to get your counter, and then build down. And then block the third, and rinse, repeat. That kind of thing. Interesting. He's fun. I like counters, though. Give me more counter stuff. We need some official My Hero counters, just FYI. Jessica. Scouting the Forest. Oop. Trying to get the right angle here so it doesn't get all fuzzy. It is a 3 diff 5 check with a 2 low block. That's really common. There's so many 3 foundations in this set. Quite a lot. Response: remove after your charge or weapon attack deals damage, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 charge or weapon attack revealed this way to your hand, and discard the rest. Oh, that's easy to keep those combos going. And a long attack string. It is on symbols for Momo. It is on symbols for Jiro. That's going to be really useful. Deadlock enhance twice per turn. Reveal the top card of your deck. Deadlock enhance is meh. But that response remove after an attack deals damage is really good. After it deals damage, you're getting a free attack, basically. 4 cards is a lot to get an attack. I almost feel like that probably should have been 2 if it's a Jiro card. You know, you're stacking 2, maybe 3. You stack the top 2 how you want, or you just roll the dice and pull the top 2, and if it's not what you want, you Jiro and look at the next 2 anyway. That's a good card. It is a 3 difficulty, so we'll see how much it gets played. I want it to get played. Oh, here's a 4-1 for Really Big Sword. So maybe this is what people are going to run with Really Big Sword in the package. We got a 4 diff 3 check, 2 low block. It is a 2 low speed for 4 damage with Echo, weapon, and then combo weapon. So again, Echo lets you play this attack a second time if you have a momentum, regardless of whether it was blocked or it half blocked or not blocked at all. You can just play it again for free. But combo weapon, so you're probably doing this as your second attack. Combo enhance, your next attack gets +2 damage, so it can buff itself. You heard that right. You can combo enhance and then echo it, and your next one comes in at 6 damage instead of 4. And then bottom enhances, if the attack speed is 5 or more, freeze one rival foundation. Now, freeze, I think, was new to Heroes Clash set. Don't quote me on that. But freeze is basically if there's a committed foundation that your rival has, you can freeze it, and it doesn't ready during their ready step. So at the beginning of their turn, it won't ready. Very, very useful, especially since most people will commit their high damage, their high buff card to try sneak in more damage. And this is going to say, no, you don't get that next turn. And it'll stay that way even on your side. And if you have another one of these, you could just keep freezing it and just keep it in check the whole time. Nothing like not being able to use something you built. It's a good hate card, and the 4 diff is nice. You don't even need the combo aspect of this. You could just play it as a 4 diff and freeze one of their foundations and just go about your day. I like it. I liked Sub-Zero back in the day. Had a lot of freeze. I got two cards, which means one here is an XR. Let's look at the rare first. The rare is House of Cards. It is a 1 diff 5 check with a 3 high block, +3 high block. It has the unique keyword and response remove. After you play an enhance, add 1 rival momentum to the top of their deck. Ooh, momentum hate's fun. Form flip. Add the top card of your rival's discard pile to the top of their deck. Okay. So you can kind of manipulate the top of their deck and then force the bad check. So this is probably getting used in Shigaraki 3 a lot. I would form flip if they have an attack on top of their discard, put it on top, and then use his enhances and everything and his attack. What was the name of his attack here? Tormenting Glare. So give them -1 check, -1 check, and then make them check on a 5, knowing it's a 3. So they're going to have to commit 4 foundations, or fail and you draw, or whatever other things you get. And then my, my XR is plus Ultra Smash. Oh, beautiful card too. It's got the little bubbles I'm not too fond of, but I love the full art. I love all the color of this. This is a great looking card. This is from the starter decks, so it's not even usually in these packs. You can only get these as XRs in these packs. It is a 5 difficulty 3 check with a 2 mid block. It is a 5 mid speed for 5 damage. Punch and slam for the keywords. First enhance. If you have less foundations than your rival, unflip 1 foundation. Great. Free unflip usually. And then response card pool. Commit 1 foundation at the start of your end phase. Add this card to your momentum. Oh, that's disgusting. It doesn't even matter. Block, whatever. It says add this card. They can even faith shield this, and this card still goes to your momentum for the cost of 1 foundation. That's all it costs. 1 foundation, you get this momentum, unless they can somehow remove it from your card pool before the end phase. Beautiful card, beautiful, or response on it. Enhances whatever. It's a great card though. Looks amazing. Very happy about that XR. Oh, got my second ultra rare, and this right now is going for a lot. Everyone wants this card, myself included. Vile Seizing. This is a 4 diff, 3 check with a 1 high block. It is a 3 high speed for 4 damage with Breaker 1 and Fury as the keywords. In case you don't know, Breaker means if you block with this, their next check basically gets -1. So it just makes their turn harder. Enhance, your rival makes a check against a difficulty of 7. If they fail, draw a card, and this attack gets +2 damage. Oh, wow. A check of 7 plus the -1 plus the -1. You can force the 3. Oh, so much. Deadlock Enhanced, your rival's checks get -2 for the rest of this turn. This is a killer card, and right now it's going for about $15 to $16 for that card alone. It's definitely worth it. It's a low cost. It has a great block with Breaker. I mean, there's not too many high Breaker blocks. There's a couple of lows, but there's not too many highs. Most of them are mids, and most of them are actions. Oh, that did not open very well. But I'm so glad I got a Vile Seizing out of this box, because I need 2 more of those, so now I just need 1 more. Then I got my place set, and I can build my Shiggy. Maybe I'll get an XR one. Moonfish, my first love. I actually have already built this deck. Moonfish is a 7-hander with 18 health. It's the lowest health, I think, outside of maybe not True Form. I think there's an All Might with 17, but maybe not. But very low health. He has enhanced your attack with a printed difficulty of 3 or less, gets +2 speed. If your rival has 3 or more cards in their hand, it gets +1 speed. So, if you got printed 3 or less, which you're probably playing some of, +2, and if they're holding blocks, +1. So +3 speed technically if they're trying to block your attack turn, and you're a 7-hander, so they better be holding some blocks. Enhance, once per turn, your turn, discard 1 attack that dealt 3 or less damage from your card pool. Your rival discards a card. So you try to sneak in a 3 or less damage, and then you just discard it from your card pool and make them discard a card and just keep on your onslaught. Moonfish is a Death by 1,000 Cuts character, one of my favorite. I am all for the whole 3 damage, 4 damage thing that some characters in the past have had, so I built him right away. Nightmare Physique. This is the card I was talking about earlier with counters. So it is a 5 difficulty 3 check with a 1 high block. It is a 5 mid speed for 5 damage with charge and fury. Enhance, remove 1 counter from your character. This attack gets +2 speed. So you can build this on, I believe, fire and earth on Shoji. Maybe just fire on Shoji too. He has one on his character's face that is remove 2 counters. This attack gets +2 speed. So you basically get to half that with this attack. You just take off 1, or you can stack them both. You can take off 1 for +2 speed and then 2 off the character for another +2 speed and make this an 8 speed to hit. Then the bottom enhances, if this attack is completely blocked, unflip 1 foundation or flip 1 rival foundation. Options are great. That is a fun rare. The art is fun. I kind of wonder what the XR looks like. Speaking of XRs, my third XR is another foundation, Terrifying Injury. It is a 1 difficulty 5 check with a 3 mid block. Enhance, add this card to your card pool. Your rival's attack gets -3 speed. If you have more health than your rival, draw a card. And then Deadlock Form, flip, remove 1 rival foundation. Great Deadlock Form. The mid block is really not great, especially in a game with tons and tons of mid blocks and options. But that Deadlock Form is nice to just get rid of something, and it's a form, so it's not an enhance or anything. They can't really counter it. They can't cancel your enhance or anything like that. So it could get some use. We'll see what people do with it. Lost in Thought is my rare. Deku card. It looks pretty. It is a 2 difficulty 4 check with a 3 high block. Let's see if I can get this thing to focus. Maybe not. It has an enhance, remove, add 1 foundation from each player's stage to their hand. Both players build 1 card from their hand face down. So it's kind of like a pseudo debuild, but if there's a card that is really bothering you, you can just force it into their hand and they'll build something else down. And then they have to rebuild it. So really good probably against a lot of the 3 check stuff. So forcing this to their hand, making them build down something else in their hand, or building this face down, which negates it anyway, and making them having to pass that check again later is pretty fun. I like it. Don't like the block mod, but I like what it does. It's very Deku-ish. That's another thing I really like about this game, is that a lot of the cards are like thematic and they kind of fit the characters really well. Something a lot of other cards don't do. They're just numbers and they jump around and people do stuff that doesn't make sense. I like that this kind of fits all the characters. Speaking of characters, here's Twice's attack. It is Agile Drop, a 4 difficulty 3 check with a 2 low block. It has a 2 high speed for 4 damage with the ally and slam keywords. Enhance, this attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage for each character in your stage. We haven't seen Twice yet, but he is a stacker, which means that he can have 4 characters in his stage, 4 of himself, basically. So you can get +4/+4. At the very least, this gets +1/+1, since you can't play the game without your starting character. So this is really a 3 high for 5 damage on a 4 diff, which is really nice. Just starting out numbers is really nice. Enhance, discard 2 cards. Choose 1 card in your card pool. Add 1 copy of it from your discard pile to your hand. Ooh. So he's going for long combos. You have to have played something before this, which is fine, because this is a 4 diff. You can play it right after a different attack. And then discard 2 cards from your hand and pick up one of his other attacks out of the discard. Well, it has to be the one matching. So it's still really good. He is on water, so you can play this with some of like Todoroki stuff that have Breaker 2 on it. Same with Chaos. I think they're Chaos and Water. Trying to think of what other neat combos, but you could just breaker block 2 stuff. It'll go to your discard, and then you can pick it back up and just use it again later, and just keep the defense up. That's probably how I'd use it. I'm not sure if people are even playing him on Water, but that's a neat little combination I would probably try. Let's look at this Kuriguri 2 character. He is another 5-hander with 28 health. Form once per turn, remove cards. Oh, hold on. Remove cards from the top of your discard pile until you remove an attack. You may play that attack as your next form this turn. If you do, it gets +3 speed. So, once per turn, remove cards from... So you're a pseudo 5. You're basically a 6-hander. You get to attack, and I would probably just throw that form out first before doing anything, depending on what's in my hand. But so he's really a free attacker with 5 extra resources instead of a 5-hander. Response commit: before the block step, you may try to block this attack with a card from your discard pile. Remove that card when it leaves your card pool. Wow. I'm glad that one's not on Water. Trying to think though. Air has some decent block stuff. Evil, I think, has some good Manetta stuff that can stuff the card pool on block. I'd have to have a look. All has if you're playing All and you're playing like the weapon package, you could play Mei Hatsume's net gun surprise. Throw that in there, and then it stays in the card pool, and then you can remove it yourself to lower the speed to 2. So there's lots you can do there. My third ultra rare, it's another great card. This one's also sought for right now, is Double Trouble twice. This is a 4 diff, 3 check with a 3 mid block. It is 2 mid speed for 5 damage with ally, echo, and stun 1. The echo also gets that stun 1, so that's fun. Enhance, discard 1 card, draw a card. Oh, okay. You're getting more attacks pretty easy that way. Twice enhance, twice specific enhance. You may discard a character card, not your starting character, from your stage to pay for this attack's echo ability. Oh, that's disgusting. You don't even have to have momentum. You just have to have an extra character, an extra twice in your card pool, which you're gonna try build as soon as you can. And then you can stun 2 and force the block on a 2 speed, which isn't much, but stun 2 and 2 attacks for only 1 cost in your card pool is a really strong card. I know a lot of people are building twice, and that's one of the cards that they're definitely looking for right now. So I got 1 more XR and 3 more ultra rares, I think. If I remember right, it's about 4 per box. My rare is Low Blow Kota. So he didn't get his own support character, he got an asset, which is fine. But this is a 4 diff, 3 check, 2 high block with Breaker 2 on high. And keyword punch. And Breaker 2. It is a 3 low speed for 3 damage. It is on Water, so you could run this on Moonfish, on Water. Enhance: if this attack is not blocked, your rival commits 2 foundations. Ooh. So you either force the block on this, and they're probably going to have to commit some foundations to block it and waste a card, or you're going to... Oh, no, your rival picks, though. They're going to commit 2 other foundations. But the Breaker 2 high block is where this card probably shines. The 4 diff is nice, too. Water already has a lot of good defense, and now they've got a Breaker high block outside of Giant Ice Wall, which I think is just a Breaker 1. Breaker 2 is big. I don't think we have anything bigger than Breaker 2 yet. And I don't think we have cards that increase breaker. I think there's a card that increases keywords. So maybe you can get breaker 3. Ooh, speaking of moonfish, my ultra rare is Razor Deluge. This is a 4 diff, a 3 check with a 2 low block. It is a 3 high speed for 3 damage with the ranged and weapon keyword. Enhance. If a card has left your card pool this turn, your rival adds 1 card from their hand to their card pool face up and draws a card. So it just stuffs their card pool more, forces them to make it harder for them to block. And then enhance, if your rival does not try to block this attack, they lose 1 health for each attack in both card pools. So the first one is going to add it face up anyway, so they're not likely going to want to put an attack, but if they're only holding attacks, you know, they're going for the kill turn next turn, they're putting that in there and maybe drawing a dud. And you're going to kind of like burn them in a sense for damage for each attack if they don't block. And if they do block, then they're stuffing the card pool more, and you can just keep up the havoc. Alright. Only 4 more packs to go. We have Justice Rush Ultra Rare. This is a 5 difficulty 3 check with a 1 mid block. Oh, my camera's spazzing out. It's a 3 mid speed for 5 damage with charge, X4, and fury. X4 is huge. Enhance, if this is the only attack in your card pool, it gets +2 damage and stun 1. Gross. I would always just play this right away. Deadlock Enhance, add 2 cards from your hand to your momentum, then draw 2 cards. So if they're in deadlock, you are hitting with this card no matter what, because you're going to give it +8 speed. Even if you just gave it X4 once, like, that's still a 7 mid, but plus 11 mid? Who's going to block an 11 mid with 11 mid 7? Don't go into deadlock if they're running this card. That's a disgusting card, and I love it. That's so good. And it's got a good block. Like, why does it have a 1 mid block? That's a great block mod, too. Man, they really want All Might to do good. I will be playing that card. That card is going to be in decks for me. Dobby. Let's see what Dobby 2 is doing. So Dobby 2 is a 7-hander with 19 health. He has enhanced your turn. Remove the top 3 cards of your deck. So not discard, remove. Your attack gets +3 damage. That does not say your non-throw attack. That is just straight any attack. If you're playing throws, and there's throws on Chaos, there's throws on all. There might be a throw on Fire, I don't know. You get +3 damage no matter what. Enhance once per turn. Your turn, remove 1 action from your hand. Add 1 action that shares 2 or more symbols with this character from your discard pile to your hand. So if there's a better action in your discard pile you want, you would use that. That's probably the lesser used thing. The +3 damage is huge. I got 2 cards here. Ooh, I love this. This is one of my new favorite cards of the set. Rushing Stat, and not because it's Toga. I think they give Toga too much. That's okay. It is a 4 diff, 1 check. 1 check. With a 2 mid block. It is a 4 mid speed for 5 damage with stun 3 and weapon. It has stun 3. Stun 3 is massive for a 4 diff attack. You can play this as your 3rd or 4th card in the string and be like 3 less foundations for you. You're not going to block this attack. Enhanced Momentum Flip, draw 2 cards, free draw. And then if you're playing Toga, you can unflip it, and then draw again. Enhance Momentum Flip, if your rival has lost health this combat phase, seal 2 rival foundations. Second one's also good, but I think it just having stun 3, this is just a killer card to have at the end of a combo. If you can pump it up, which Death has lots of things to pump it up. Life has damage pump. Water doesn't have as much. It still has damage pump. You can pump this attack up and make it lethal. And my XR, ooh, let's go. Nightmare Physique. I like getting attacks, so plus Ultra Smash and Nightmare Physique. I already went over this card, but we could have a look at the differences real quick, since they gave it the full frame treatment and everything. So you got kind of full artwork coming out the bottom. The sides, it looks cleaner, it looks nicer. I don't see a lot of extra foiling on this one. Usually if it's a rare or an XR, they add something extra on the background, but that's okay. It still looks very pretty. I think I got one more ultra rare left out of these 2 packs. I think we're gonna go on the left. Let's see what's on the left. And there it is. It is a Dobby ultra rare. So Flame Flicker is a 4 diff 3 check with a 2 mid block. It is 3 high speed for 4 damage with a ranged and combo action keyword. I think that's the first time I've seen combo action in my hero, so that's cool. Combo enhance, add 1 action from your card pool to your momentum. So play the action, it gets to do its thing. Then you combo, add it to momentum. You get free momentum. Enhances tech is +1 speed for each action and both players removed from game piles. Okay, so he does have cards that remove cards from game. It is a 4 diff, so it's a pretty interesting card. You could definitely use it in Tokiyami. If you're doing Fire or Chaos, you could play the Summon Dark Shadow, give your next check +3, and then play Flame Flicker. It's a high, and you could just run a ton of highs and make everyone's life horrible. And my lucky last pack has Showdown. This is a action 3 difficulty 4 check with a 3 high block. Response: after you block with this card, commit 2 rival foundations. That's target commit, so that's nice. The 3 on it's hard, makes it hard, but if they're not pumping speed, that's doable. Response: commit 2 foundations after your rival plays an ability on an action card, cancel it. There goes Erase. This is a good counter to Erase. Good counter to quite a few different action cards. But, you can get rid of Blood Curdle. It costs you 2 foundations, but if they're going to Blood Curdle at the beginning, before you've even got anything in your card pool, just commit 2, throw this down on a 3, which you're most likely going to pass, and then they've wasted that card, and your character's still ready, if that's what they were worried about in the first place. Yeah, so that's my pools. Plus Ultra is definitely, the XR is definitely the highlight of this whole thing. That and Vile Seizing. Get some highlights here. Get out there and come play this game with us. Thanks for watching.